Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered call-in show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest Scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Let's see. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How's it going? Let me make some party noises here. Hopefully, you've had an amazing week so far. If you had, then this is a good thing. I'm just glad to be here. My name is Devon Morris. You are on the Unfiltered Show, where we talk about Scrum, Agile, entrepreneurship, all those wonderful things. And today's topic is going to be, what is affinity estimation? A success guide to that. So we're going to talk that today. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually looking forward to it. So this will be a really good thing. But first, let's talk about where things are at. Do me a favor, drop a hello in the chat for me. I'd like to call you out. So just drop a hello in the chat for me. That'll be great. Here's the deal, right? Let's see. What's been going on this week? Man, I had a crazy week. I've been traveling. I got clients. I got this. I got that. And I'm training, and I'm just doing all kind of stuff. But for those that are going to be in a hardship class, I'm going to have to move it from next week. I got to move it. I got a lot of things that got to happen next week, so I got to move it from next week. So it's going to be either the week after or the week after that. I have to determine which one it is, but I have to move it from next week. So FYI, anybody that's here that's going to be in that hardship class, I'll mention it again later. But outside of that, man, I'm good. I'm good. Let me tell you about how this thing works, so and then we're good to go. As people kind of flow in, it's really simple how it works. But we go ahead, our agenda is real simple. We talk about this little intro real quick, and then we talk about the topic of the day. And today is going to be about affinity estimation. And then what we do is we open the floor. We open the floor for you to ask questions. And you can ask questions by calling us, by phoning in, which I will drop a link in the chat a little bit later. I'll drop a link in the chat, and you're welcome to join me on the show. Or you could type your name, you can type your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them for you, right? Hey, this is our third year doing this. So I'm happy about it, right? So let me say hi to some people here. Patrick, how you doing? As usual, it's always great seeing you, man. Let me see. Okay, just making sure my stuff is showing up. So it is great seeing you, Patrick. Hopefully things are going well for you. I'm doing good, my friend. Hello, how you doing there? I'm glad you liked the intro. Intro was good. I worked hard on the intro when we created it, so that's a good thing. So welcome. You seem new, so snaps to you. Evie, how you doing there? How's it going? Hopefully everything's good with you. Asia, how are you? Hopefully you are okay as well. What's up, Azriel? How's it going? Sabrina, I gotta push that dang on class out a week or two. So just to let you know, Yachina, welcome Sabrina. She was the scrum master. She was the scrum master with Philip. So hey, hats off to you, Sabrina, for real, getting yourself involved in stuff. Let's see, Yachina, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Okay. Let's see, and thanks for the Happy New Year, man. You said let's get this scrum money. You get the scrum money, man. I'm just gonna be happy to just be a part of the journey, man. That's it. Cause I just do this for the love of it. I guess for the love of money too, right? Anyway, We're good to go. So welcome, 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 welcome. We have let's see, Margarita. Welcome, 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 welcome. So that being said, let's start talking here, right? We have hit that mark. We had that 5 minute mark. So let's talk about our topic, right? So first, what I'm going to ask you to do is please like and subscribe. So if you like this content, it'll just take you a second, doesn't cost you anything. It helps us, with the algorithms and all this wonderfulness. So like and subscribe. So do both, okay? Now, if you're on LinkedIn, just go ahead and like. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone on LinkedIn too. Um, hey, I'll just tell you a secret, LinkedIn folks. You might want to come over to YouTube because this is where we're probably gonna just only be at in the future. Just FYI. So let's talk. You know, I by default utilize affinity estimation to actually estimate, and I always have to some degree. Okay. When we talked about planning poker, we kind of talked about what a story point was. And one of the things that I did is I just went and did a search in my archives because I have hundreds of decks, right? I have hundreds of presentations, especially the initial stuff that I was doing from CSM. So I went ahead and did a little search through my CSM archives and just pulled up the stuff I used to present in terms of certified Scrum Master. So I want to talk to you about a couple things to make sure we're good to go. And then we'll jump right into that affinity estimation and I'll kind of show you how it works. It's a really simple process. So let's back up a little bit. First and foremost, what are we talking about here? We're talking about estimation, okay? Now, Scrum does not prescribe that you estimate whatsoever. I don't think there's any framework that prescribes that you estimate. So just know that up front, right? But here's the deal. Most of us, when we inside of some organization, we're going to estimate for whatever reason, right? It doesn't matter what the reason is. You're probably going to estimate for whatever reason. And if you are going to estimate, utilizing story points is a great way to go about it, right? Now, just so we can understand, a story point is a relative measure of size. Size is a combination of complexity, effort, and risk. It's just an estimate, right? It's an estimation of complexity and effort and risk. So just know those things to be true, right? Now, with those things being true, we step back a second and we want to talk a little bit, right? I'm going to present some slides to you because I just want you to see a couple things, right? This is how I used to present this information, and I'm just going to give it to you. And I do things differently now. I don't always present I really don't present this information like that anymore. So let's just go there, right? So I'm going to open up my fancy little iPad. And first of all, talk to you about some rules of thumbs here, right? When we think about estimation, if we, figure out our whole, let's say that's 300 points. If we're actually doing 20 points a sprint, then we can actually derive our duration of it being about 15 sprints to go, right? But let's put that to the side. A lot of people are concerned about when it comes to story points, what type of estimation scales we utilize. And when it comes to story points, you're classically going to utilize the Fibonacci sequence, some multiples of that, or just multiples in general. So like, 1, 2, and then just multiplying every number by 2 moving forward, or the pure Fibonacci sequence where you add the prior 2 numbers to get the next one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Or you might use a modified form of Fibonacci. Well, once you go from 13, you move to 20, then go 40, then 100, right? Also things that exist is t-shirt size and abstract things like gummy bears and cars. But we're not diving into any of that at this point. What we're talking about is one of the most popular techniques that are available in order to do or come up with those story points. We already talked about planning poker. But what I want to talk to you about is affinity estimation. And affinity estimation is borrowed from lean manufacturing. It's more of a group-based way of sizing. If I had to size a lot of items, if I had to estimate a lot of items, I'm probably going to lean more toward affinity estimation. And I remember when I first started doing it, I did it by default without knowing exactly what it was. And then I did some research to find out what I was doing, and this is what I was doing, right? And it was a situation where I had a team and we had a tremendous amount of stories. that they expected us to get done in a short period of time. Now, long time ago, I used to just get a team in a room and we bang out all the estimates one by one over 3 to 5 days. That right there is crazy. So what I did is I got a team in a room and we actually did this affinity estimation, but I didn't know what to call it, right? And so when I started looking it up, then I learned what it was. And then I'll tell you the difference between what I had done and what I continue to do and the strictness of this, right? And it's not really that strict, to be truthful, right? So we're going to talk about affinity estimation. Affinity estimation literally has a few steps associated with it, okay? And these are the 5 steps. Really, the store data one you can remove, right? And so you look at the 4 above that, and this is what you need to know in terms of affinity estimation. First of all, you're estimating a large number of items. So the way it's supposed to happen is like affinity grouping, which is a technique that's used in lean manufacturing. And so what classically will happen is you will get 1 or 2 members from a team, okay? Classically 2 members of a team, and they will go up to the board wherever you have everything mapped out at, and they will size things roughly from smallest to largest, okay? They will silently do that. Now, it may not sound like it works, but it actually do. So just imagine you're in a room, you got a bunch of your cards, the things you're going to estimate on the wall, and then 2 people go up and they silently estimate those things from smallest to largest. And then they come on, they sit down, and then the team as a whole discusses the estimates that are there, and they move things around. They resize things as they need. And then what we do is we place numbers above sections of them, and then put these in relative groupings. And then once we're done with that, then the product owner gets to challenge some things. And when we say challenge, we do not mean questioning the estimate in a negative way. Just question why is something so big or so small. And then we can really talk about the trade-offs, and maybe there were some things that weren't quite understood. And then the last thing is the stored data, but you should know that already. So let me show you this, and then I'll talk about the nuances of what I've done with a team, right? So this is literally what I used to present in class. So do not trip on me. Do you hear me? Do not talk bad about me at all. Let me look at y'all for real. One more time. This is what I used to present in the Certified Scrum Master. Do not talk bad about me, all right? Don't do it. I'm real sensitive, man. I really am sensitive. Do you understand that I am sensitive? Anyway, here's the deal, right? This is what I used to use. I used to use these cars here, and for some strange reason it says X here, but it should not say X here. But don't worry about it, okay? I haven't looked at this deck in years, so I hope this works, all right? I hope it works. So, the first thing is to silently size these items. You get 2 people to go up, 1 or 2 people to go up, and they silently order these things from roughly smallest to largest. So we're gonna take these nice cars that I absolutely love, because I really do love the cars, man. And we will, hey, Disney, don't get me. We will go ahead and start to kind of size them from smallest to largest. So you can see how it goes from one size all the way to Rusty's. You can see how it goes from smallest to largest, right? So great. We do that, and then our next step is really very simple. We discuss and resize. So the team talks about it, and they figure out that, hey, there's a couple things that need to switch. We switch Mater with the van guy. I don't remember his name. Okay. And now the team begins to place these in relative size buckets. So let's just say our buckets are small, medium, and large, or as I'm going to say, 3, 5, 8. So Instead of small, medium, large, I probably would use 3, 5, and 8. Okay. And let's just go ahead and place them appropriately. Now, once we place them appropriately, like I said, small is a 3, medium is a 5, and a large is an 8. Once we place them appropriately, the product owner gets the challenge. And the product owner says, okay, I think that 2 of these items are out of whack, right? Let's say the blue car on the left-hand side and the purple car in the middle. And then the developer say, hey, we didn't think about that. Let's just kind of move that around, okay? So that right there, and then you store the data. That's it, okay? That is affinity estimation, literally. Affinity estimation at its core. Hey, I just pulled this out the woodworks for you, right? So my statement to you, it isn't complicated, right? Now, I'll tell you what I did in the very beginning when I did this without this, right? When I had a team in a room, we had all these cards. So I just put them all on the table. I just put them all on the table. Literally, they all just went on the table, right? And then what I did is I just grabbed a couple people and I said, everybody else, y'all stand around, okay? And I told them to put these in like groups. That's it. Put them in like size groups. That's it. It's almost really bucketing them, right? And they just started making sections of things that was about the same size: complexity, effort, and risk. And then what I did after that is I told them to order them from smallest to largest, at least the groupings from smallest to largest. And we ended up with about 8 groups. And so I started off with a 3 at the very bottom and went 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89. That's it. Everything that was above a 21 had to be broken down. Everything that was above a 21 had to be broken down. Okay? And so we knew just from them doing that and then us applying the numbers after that, how it worked. So if I do affinity estimation, I don't necessarily follow what I showed you. I follow what I did, where I get them to group them together because I find that that matches the affinity grouping technique a lot more. Because with affinity grouping, you're putting things in like groups. That's what you're doing. Okay? And so I like to get people to put them in like groups and then order the groups from smallest to largest and then start off with the number 3 and go on across. Okay? That's affinity estimation in a nutshell. 2 ways that you can do it. My style is more of affinity grouping, right? And we just apply the estimation numbers after that to each group, and then everything like in the 3 group, everything in the 3 group gets a 3. In the 5 group, everything in the group gets a 5. In the 8 group, everything that's an 8 get an 8. That's just what I did. I just made that mess up. I made it up, but I didn't make it up. I borrowed it from affinity grouping. Okay. Now, I showed you the way that people like to present affinity estimation first, and then I told you the way that I do affinity estimation, which closely resembles the actual affinity grouping technique. What do you think? Do you think there's a big difference between the two? If you had to choose which one you want to do, would you prefer doing the official style, or would you prefer doing the Devon style, the Devon style? You know, I got Devonisms, right? And that's a Devonism style, right? So which one would you prefer? My style or their style? I'm not sure. Write in the chat. Tell me what you think, right? So that's affinity estimation in a nutshell, people. It is nothing more than just that. Nothing more than just that, right? Nothing more than just that. I'm getting some votes here. You see this? Yeah, the divinism stuff is real, right? Yeah, that's the style that I utilize. I mean, literally, when I say that's the way that I did it, I clearly remember doing it exactly that way. And I have not stopped doing it that way. If I go into an organization, well, sorry, I'm dealing with an organization now. But when I teach affinity grouping, it's more affinity grouping than that affinity estimation that's classically talked about. So I follow the style of the actual technique that's associated with lean, right? So I feel good about that. I get more votes. I'm feeling really happy right here, right? So I saw that Sabrina liked the actual visuals. I think the cars are dope. I've always thought the cars were dope. I really do like the Cars movie. I really, really do. I really do like Tow Mater. I do. For my Junkman comics, I tried to use Tow Mater on my on my logo, but I knew I was gonna get sued. So I said I can't do that. I can't be fighting Disney or Pixar or whoever makes them. I can't be fighting them people. Okay? I don't feel like it. All right, so that being said, we're at our time, people. That is affinity. That is what affinity estimation is from two very different perspectives. Um, Here's what I want you to do. I need for us to queue up with questions that you have. You may have some questions, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to drop, the link in the chat like we always do. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat in both LinkedIn and in the actual YouTube arena. Okay. This is the time where if you have questions, you want to actually drop your questions in the chat or you want to come join me live. To join me live, click the link. While you're thinking about clicking the link, let me ask you a question. Did you get some value out of what I just showed you from an affinity estimation perspective? If you did, give me a thumbs up, give me a smiley face, give me something like that in the chat, okay? As you're thinking about whatever questions it is that you want to ask. So the floor is officially open for any questions that you ask, and you are welcome to ask any questions you want to, okay? So that was fun, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. Lizzie will remember when I presented that. I saw Lizzie in the chat earlier. Lizzie said this was the best way to, this is the fastest way to do it. Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. I'm trying to think, why did I do it at? What did I do it at first? I don't remember what company I did it at first, but here's what I remember. We wasn't in a regular, we wasn't in a, we was like in a training room. Oh, I know why I did it. I think I did it at Rackspace. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it could have been sooner than that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look here. You have questions. I need you to drop those questions in the chat, right? Here's the deal. Tuesday, I kind of jump out there. And I'll, take that affinity estimation and make sure that it gets ready for people. Oh, yeah, that means I did it at Capital One. So that means that I did affinity estimation at Capital One, not at when I first did it. It was at Capital One, and then I took it over to USA when I went there. Especially if Lizzie knows about it, because if Lizzie knows about it, we worked together in 2007 through the 2008, right? So yeah. These are things. You just take these things with you, right? And so yeah. That's a long time. It's a long time. It's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing, right? So let's see. Oh, the big question here is, how long did it take to do that exercise with a team back then? I think Lizzie can explain that experience too. Lizzie, if you remember how long it took when I did it with our team, let me know. And then what I will tell you is, for me, when I've done affinity estimation, my style affinity estimation, but all that formality, um, for 100 or so items, it took maybe about 45 minutes max. Maybe about 45 minutes max. Okay. For literally over 100 items, right? Over 100 items, right? It took 45 minutes max. Okay. So really, it was less than an hour, if I really think about it. Lizzie remembers when we did it, it was about 20 minutes, but it was a smaller number of items with Lizzie's group. And so it was very, very different. and yeah, and Lizzie's talking about, because I'm crazy, right? Because when I'm inside of a company, I don't care about like when I was at USA, I took over everybody's, like, people had they had all these windows, so people had their desk close to the windows, so that's prime time real estate. So I would put my scrum teams on the windows, like on the little windows, because they didn't want us to put tape on the walls. So I put it on the windows, right? And so if you could think about two big windows, and we use two big windows, big windows, two big windows, and we did it all on two big windows, right? For that team's estimation for everything that was in the product backlog. Yeah, it don't take. I mean, it don't take long. If you really think about it, Addy, if your developers are really there and paying attention, and you ask them to be engaged in it, when you have the initial person go up there, or the two people go up there, they're thinking about these things as they group them, right? They're really thinking about them as they group them, right? And I've even been looser than that, right? I'll just have, somebody go up there who has experience with these items, and I'll let the team decide who go want to go up there, and just one person go up there, and then let them start to move things, while the rest of the group say, no, 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 did you think about this? No, 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 did you think about that? It almost becomes like paired estimation. That's what it is. Like, wait a minute, I just named it. Time out. Did you see what I just did? I think it's called paired estimation. I just Do y'all see the genius that is coming out of my mind tonight? Do you see the genius that is coming out of my mind tonight? We just did paired estimation. That's the new title, paired estimation. Bam, 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 bam. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me do it again. Paired estimation. Throw it in the chat, y'all. Paired estimation. I like that. That is crazy. Oh man. So, yeah, no, it was great, man. It was great. You always in the situations where people want you to get all these things done, right? Um, but yeah. I think that's what I would call it, because it's not really, yeah, it's like paired estimation. I'm gonna no. Better yet, it's not even paired estimation. It's mob estimation. It's not paired estimation, because pair programming is when two people on the same computer. Mob programming is when one person's on the computer and everybody else is supporting them on that computer. So it's like everybody's on the computer. So it's mob estimation. It's not paired estimation. Somebody type in the chat mob estimation. Mob estimation, y'all. That's what it really is. Mob estimation. Somebody type in the chat for me. I need to be able to remember, people. Mob estimation. That is amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love it. Mob estimation is what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's mob estimation. I didn't even know I was doing mob estimation, y'all. So that Devon style is now officially called mob estimation. Woo! 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 Look at us! Look at us! We get it done! We get it done! We get it done, baby! Woo! Look at that, boy! Woo! All right, man. What kind of questions do y'all have for real? Mob estimation all day. I feel like I should have a hat on. I really feel like I should have a hat on. Like I should have a hat on. That's how I feel, right? Um, let's see. How would the technique look in a virtual environment? I think it would look exactly the same, because I really do believe that you can use a mural, a Miro, a Jamboard, and if you put everything on that mural, Miro, or Jamboard, you can actually have one person start to move things around. And as long as you're on the Jamboard or on the Miro, whatever it is, and you have everybody in Zoom or in a place where we can talk, you have one person moving the cards around and start grouping those cards in certain sections on that board. and then you have people talk to them as they move things around. It would be exactly the same. It would be exactly the same. I don't think there's anything you would need to change because realistically, all I'm really saying is just get a board, a wall, a table, and that table is your virtual space. So I think in a virtual environment is absolutely the same thing. I don't think it's any different. Matter of fact, I would say it would be just as easy, just as easy. So yeah, yeah. So I think it would be exactly the same, right? So that's a really good question. You know what? I am gonna put it on the shirt. Shika, you know I'm gonna put it on the shirt. You know, do you not know how much I like to put things on the shirt? I used to. My name is Devon Antoine Morris. That spells damn. Do you realize when I was a kid, I would put damn on everything, and I wasn't gonna get in trouble because I was like, those are letters of my name. What you talking about? I had a whole belt that said that. I had a ring that said that. I had all those things that said that. So I love to see my name. I love to see my stuff. I love for my brand to be on my stuff. Anybody who knows me, know I don't wear nothing. Look at that. Look, you see that? You see that? I don't wear nothing. You just see me wearing my Junkman Comics shirts. I ain't lying. You know. So yeah, man. Mob estimation, baby. Y'all see me do it. Y'all see me get rid of it. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so y'all, any questions? We just know. You saw it here first. Mob estimation. We're kind of good on that. We're kind of solid. We're living the good life. I feel like I'm living a good life. Hopefully you feel like you're living a good life too. But I always feel like I'm living a good life, don't I? I really, really don't. I really, really do feel like I'm living a good life all the time. All the time is how I feel. So yeah. So that being said, once again, whatever questions you have, drop them in the chat, or you can come join me on the show. Now I know that I blew y'all mind with that. Did I blow your mind? Did I just? Is that what happened to you tonight? Cause y'all quiet on me. Y'all not knowing me this quiet. Do y'all not love me? Am I not? Have I not entertained you? Have I not entertained you? So stupid. Woo-wee. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all should y'all should see me in training today. In training today, I literally was training, and I kicked my foot up like I was kicking somebody. Like you can imagine, in the middle of me training, me kicking my foot in the air just to go along with some word I said. I don't remember what I said, but I kicked my foot in the air, like for real. And then I thought about it after, and I said, "Man, why you do that, man? Why you do that?" I said, "It's Devon. That's who Devon is." Anyway, I love it. So yeah, 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 yeah. Lizzie, send me that code that I sent you. You got a code. Send it to me. All right. So that being said, yeah, I'm gonna get some shirts, man. I'm gonna get some shirts and put it on shirts. Look, infographic. You go ahead and create the infographic, Azrael, and send it to me. I'm gonna create a shirt. I'm gonna create a shirt that says "Mob Programming." I'm gonna say "Mob Programming for Life." No, yeah, no. Mob estimation for life. So mob estimation for life. For life. Gang gang. So yeah, super amazing. Super amazing stuff. I actually absolutely love it. That is, yeah, I just thought about that. I really think that's actually pretty clever if I really think about it. Look at that. Agile Jiu-Jitsu. This is what I'm talking about. Agile Jiu-Jitsu. I like it. I like Jiu-Jitsu. I do. I really, really do. Right? That's what we doing. We getting surgical. We getting surgical on people doing this agile stuff. Like this is surgical scrum. This is not regular scrum. It's surgical, baby. Because we be surgical on people. I almost feel like I can do a rap song. Maybe that's what my next intro is going to be. The Unfiltered Call-In Show, how we get surgical. How we get surgical on that bouquet. We get surgical. I was about to curse, but I said, no, I might get kicked off of YouTube for that. Even though I don't think that's the case, right? I really don't think that's the case. But I want to make sure that this environment is friendly for children because your kids might be up learning this with you right now. And if your kids are up there learning this right now with you, I want them to feel welcome. Okay? So I think we have someone that's going to join us on the show. We're going to see how this goes. Let's see. Let me go ahead and grab a space for us to have some interview stuff happen. And let me bring my guest over. Hello, Grace. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Welcome. You've been on the show before, so how you doing?
Oh gosh, I look terrible. Oh my gosh, I look
You look
poor.
amazing. What are you talking about?
I look like I
I
have
don't even want to
bags
hear
under
that.
my eyes. Oh, how do I come off camera?
You know what?
Oh,
No, you look fine. You look fine. Let's talk. What kind of question you got? What's going
oh
on?
lady,
Talk
I
to me.
regret coming on camera anyway. I was just looking at the affinity estimation. I'm actually about to teach a group tomorrow about ways to, improve flow and understand how to queue up stories for even PI planning. And it seems like they do arbitrary estimation. They're trying the Fibonacci sequence, but it doesn't work. And I haven't really used this actually because it's not that popular. So the question is, when you compare this technique to traditional planning poker, how widely used is it, like especially in the consulting space? And which one do you think is better for teams that haven't really understood agility, full stop, and story pointing and relative estimating?
Okay, so first statement, the first question that you asked is about the popularity of affinity estimation versus playing poker. There is nothing more popular than playing poker on the planet because planning poker is in Mike Cohn's book, Agile Estimating and Planning. So planning poker is going to be the standard for story points, and it will continue to be that because that's what people primarily learn, right? If you walked into my CSM class, you will see that I teach people planning poker, right? And I just do that because it's what people know, and most people even ask for it, right? Now, in terms of if I had a recommendation for you, which one to use, I would say use mob estimation. And let me explain to you why. Because here's what your teams can do. Your teams can actually take the requirements that you have and group them together based on how much work they think is going to take to get them done. And if you ask them to think about that work as complexity, effort, and risk, and then have them group them based on complexity, effort, and risk combined, okay, into groupings and just put those groupings in different sections of a board and 6 different sections on mural, whatever it is. Just make sure that they get grouped in like-sized items and like-sized estimates. You don't have to teach people anything about planning poker. You don't have to teach people anything about story pointing. The beauty of mob estimation when I did it is I didn't have no time to teach people what story points were. And so what I did was got the developers in a room and we grouped things and then I basically assigned numbers after that and literally went 3, 5, 8, so forth and so on. And then what I said to them is, I said, anytime you estimate something in the future, remember these groups. Things that are about this size, you put it in this group. You put it in that group. You put it in that group. I never had to teach them about story points. I never had to teach them about planning poker. So we never had to have that conversation. That's the reason why I really did it. It's because I was pressed for time and we needed to get numbers and I didn't have time to teach them what story points really was, or even teach them about playing poker. And then they wanted to get what they really wanted from us is they wanted us to provide them with an idea on whether we was going to be able to make the date. And we didn't have nothing but like 24 to 48 hours, so we didn't have any time. And so literally, we were able to do that and do that in such a clean way and get all the numbers that we needed. And then the actual testament to that was when we actually started releasing things, those numbers didn't have to change. Yeah, the onesie twosie things was wrong, but in general, it worked for us. And so it's not just I'm talking to you about it from an estimation point in the beginning. In the end, it worked for us. We was able to forecast with it. We was able to do all the other things that I would expect us to be able to do utilizing story points, get velocity, determine how long it's going to take to get something done. We were able to do all those things still, even though I never taught them about story points. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So basically, if I understand correctly, you don't necessarily lose time in having them have to do the anchoring, like give us, what do you think is a one, what do you think is a
Right.
three, what do you
Nope.
think is a 10. And if you're in a
Nope.
situation with teams where the people management side is inefficient, so they haven't really managed having long-lived stable teams, this method might actually work better because you're able to deal with people who may not necessarily know each other well, but still
Yep.
be able to come together quickly to do the affinity. Okay,
Yep.
so then the question is, what do you do when they say, how far into the backlog should we go? Because, for example, if they're gearing up for top 10 features and then decomposition into stories and during PI
Um,
planning, you're supposed to estimate like the next three sprints out.
I
Do
guarantee
you
you.
recommend that?
I guarantee you can estimate 100 to 150 items in an hour or less.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
effort, time, and effort, complexity, and risk.
Well,
Small,
well,
medium, large.
don't even think small, medium, large. Don't even
Say it
think
again.
small,
I
medium,
forgot
large.
how you do it.
Don't think no numbers, right? So
Yeah.
think about what I said. You just tell them, I need you. You tell one person from the group and have everybody observe them. You have one person from the group really say to them, look, I need you to place I need you to take these requirements and I need you to estimate them, but I need you to put them in like size groups. So put similar estimates in similar groups. Let's not worry about what numbers to put on it. So this, if you take this item right here and you think this item is similar to that in terms of effort, put them in the same group. In terms of complexity, effort, and risk, put them in the same group. And do that with all the groups. And then what you do is you take the groups and put the smallest one up front and the largest one toward the back from left to right. And then what you do is for that first group, you put the number three and give everything number three in that first group. Second group, put the number five and give everything a number five for that group. 8, 13, 21, 34. I never taught them about story points in that essence, right? I just taught them to group things. That's it. And once they group those like size items, I have relative numbers. Remember, the thing we're trying to do with story points is relative estimation. And all I'm doing is just making my groups relative to each other. And now I just add numbers to each group, and I just done exactly what we tend to do. That's mob
Okay, and when you
estimation.
say I, you mean the Scrum Master facilitating this
Yes,
does
Scrum
it
Master
after?
facility.
So you say group first, and we'll just call it group one, two, three, and then the
No,
Scrum
yeah,
Master says, okay, now it's done. I'll put the numbers on there.
that's it.
Okay,
Now they're
okay, and then
likely
you
if
can
you if
still
you're
do your
using a board,
velocity.
if you're literally using a board, then probably not going to have them in the exact order. So you're gonna have to go from smallest to largest and make sure that they take them from smallest to largest. So group one is the smallest, group two is the second, group three is after that, group four is after that. Once you have them order those groups from smallest to largest, then you can place your numbers, and that's it. Just everything in that
Okay.
group gets that number. Yeah. And you
So
can do
just in case we
everything else.
forget after this, then how do we get? Is there a resource you can send us so we can get a refresher?
I just made this up, man. I've been doing this for years and I just titled it. Do you not understand that? So, yes, I'm going to write something up about it. Okay. So, yes, I'm going to write something up about it. Okay.
All
Um,
right. Thanks a lot.
but send me an email, Grace, to remind me. You got my email,
I
right?
will do that. You know I'm
Send me
good
an
for
email to
emails.
remind me, right? Yeah, send me an email to remind me. I'll write something up about it. But we do have this video, and I will write something up about it, or I'll create another video, or I'll do something. I'm gonna do something about it, okay? And I'll clearly call it mob estimation.
Sounds good. And just
I got
edit me out of this. Edit my picture out when you do the recording. Thanks,
you. Okay.
everyone.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, yeah. No, hey, when you in this whole agile space, sometimes you get creative. I thought Grace was fine. Don't y'all think Grace was fine? I thought she was amazing, right? She was amazing. At least to me, she was absolutely amazing. So look, man, when you do this stuff, you just go ahead and do it. Yeah, mob estimation. I'm feeling good about it. Any questions y'all have? I'm looking. I don't see any new questions. Any questions? Anybody wants to come on and join and talk to me a little bit about mob estimation, affinity estimation? I'd even talk to you about Planet Poker if you want to. Even though Planet Poker is old news now. That is so stupid. Oh man. So here's a question. Am I on something with this mob estimation thing? I think I am. What do you all think? Do y'all really want me to create a guide and tell you the steps that are associated with that? Hmm? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Should I create a guide for mob estimation? Nobody's telling me nothing. Yes, please. I'm gonna have to work on that one. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That was a lot. Yeah, y'all got my voice tired now. I'm over here screaming and hollering for no reason. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Mob estimation. That's pretty dope. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do that. I'm really gonna have to do that. So hopefully you all get that. So once again, if you like the show, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you click that like button because, again, we're trying to grow. By the end of this year, we plan to double and be up to 1,500 people. So that's our objective. So help us grow, help us get there, let people know about the show because we do this every Monday. Every Monday we do this, right? Every Monday. Every Monday, 8 p.m. Central, we do this, right? And really, the reason why I do it is so then we can make videos so then it can be available for other people in the future. That's the key. That's the key right there. So, what else is on your mind? What else would you all like to talk about? What other questions do you have? Drop those questions in the chat or come join me on the show. Any more questions that y'all have about estimation? You have somebody that's obviously been estimating for many years at this point. So you may want to drop me, plus I'm a past developer too. So that helps me out a little bit. It really does. It like really, really does. I mean, I'm really being honest with you. It really helps me out. It helps me understand the mindset, right? Because being a past developer means I have an understanding of the development mindset. And your developers are the ones that's going to be doing the estimation, right? They really are going to be the ones that's doing the estimation. And since they're doing the estimation, they like to have a kindred spirit around, and I feel like I'm a kindred spirit. I'm a developer at heart, right? I really am. Do y'all realize that I remember I have Android phones, right? And so I remember I was upset at some Android company. I don't remember which one it was, right? And because they wasn't giving me the latest, greatest software. And so I got so upset, man, I decided to become an Android developer. I quit though. I quit after a little while because I said this is stupid. You should just buy you phones that give you what you want, right? But I really, really like I really, really like having the latest, greatest updates and everything else. That's the reason why I may end up getting rid of this one at some point. But I'm a small tech head, small, not big, small. Because I ain't spending my money on too many things. So questions about estimation, questions about any of this stuff related to what we do. Y'all say y'all don't want to talk to me. Do y'all not like me? Do y'all not love me? Do y'all not care about me? I just be talking crazy. Um, hey, Philip Marshall, if you're here, I want to just say to you, you're doing a great job with that group that you have. Philip was a part of either one of the regular Bearded Eagle classes or a hardship class, and he created a group where people are actually getting experience doing Scrum. Um, and I actually came to the group for one of their reviews, and I made sure that I answer quite a few questions for them. And I really appreciate what Philip is doing. Philip Marshall, Rock and Roll Agile. Philip is absolutely amazing. And so I absolutely love that he's done that. And anytime Philip wants to call me in to help out with the group, I'm willing to do that. So Philip, hats off to you. Thank you for inviting me last week to just be a part of the group. Um, if Philip's on here, I say, Philip, say something, right? But just look up Philip Marshall on LinkedIn and connect with him and ask him, can you join the group, right? He's doing an amazing job. I've always loved Philip from the beginning, and every piece of advice that I've given Philip, he's actually gone and executed. Um, he just really had. He's just an amazing guy, right? I really do believe that. And so Philip is one of those people that I'm not proud of y'all. Do you understand? I really am. But Philip is one of those people I'm really proud of. Like I'm proud of all of y'all. Y'all go out and go do this stuff. I'm really always very proud of you all. But I get extra pride when I see people help the rest of us. And to know Philip is helping other people, that just warms my heart up. And anytime when I see y'all helping other people, I'm always going to do everything that I can to be there for y'all and you supporting them, right? I know it takes time from everybody, but it's just part of what we do. So, yeah, so Philip Marshall is the man. Look Philip Marshall up, get linked in with him, and ask him about his group. Ask him about his group. And there are people here that can actually provide a testimonial about that. Let's see. How many steps for mob estimation? Azriel, I don't know yet. I have it in my head how many steps, but I want to make sure that I clearly delineate them out so and then they are properly presented. So they are properly presented. Okay? So they are properly presented. So that would be a good thing. So I'll let you know. I'll create something for it. And I gave you the name. I gave you the name for the group. I gave you the name of the person, Philip Marshall. And as Shane says, he's a very good person. And again, his name is like that, Philip Marshall. Okay? Just to make sure everybody's good to go on that and everybody's on the same page. So yeah, give Philip a shout. You can even say Devon sent me. And he'll be welcoming, right? Let's see. What else do we have here? Any other questions before we decide to start shutting it down for the evening? Well, I'm looking here. I don't see any questions. I mean, I love y'all, but if y'all want to talk to me, I don't want, I actually do want to talk to y'all because if I didn't want to talk to y'all, I would not be here. Like y'all know, I got crazy amounts of. You know how tired I am today. I'm tired, y'all. Do you not see these bags that are under my eyes? And these bags are under my eyes all the time. Why don't y'all help me? Help me. Please help me with this Agile stuff. Please help me to spread the word on how great Agile is. Because I'm tired. Do you not see that? Anyway, the point I'm making is we all good. Woo, that's crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, Alec here. Thank you. Great topic. I have a question. My PO really loves absolute estimation in man days, so hourly estimation, because he can judge performance. It doesn't work for us. What do I do? The question is, um, why does the PO get to tell the developers how to estimate? So I would have a conversation with the PO to see if the PO would change. If the PO doesn't want to change, then I would go ahead and probably escalate that. Okay. The statement is man days or hours. And when you say absolute estimation, I say absolute hours or ideal hours or pure effort is what he's trying to get. And the problem is that pure effort doesn't work very well for us. Um, we can um, we can be as much as 50% off on those estimates. And so we're just not that good at them. So they don't work. And what I would do is I would build a case on how the team feels that that doesn't work for them. And if it doesn't work for them and the PO is pressing that, the product owner should be able to, I mean, the Scrum Master should be able to change things or escalate things so they can change. So I would try to change them through escalating them so they can change or just having a simple conversation. So I think you go ahead and just go and attack it in some kind of way. Um, but again, if they got all the power and management can't help you, then you're probably stuck. Realistically, you're probably stuck. And I don't want to say that, but you probably would be because you don't have the ability to help change the group. And that's the whole problem because what you're basically saying is that the Scrum Master is not able to remove impediments. And that right there is not the way life is supposed to be. It's just not. I'm just being real with you. Okay. So yeah, I would have some conversations after I've gotten the data to show that this isn't working, and then I would show it to the product owner to see if the product owner would change. Try to work with the product owner on at least run an experiment. And if the product owner still doesn't care and still is dogmatic about it not changing, then this is where it's worth an escalation. But here's what I would really do. I would just tell my team, don't do it anymore. I would just tell my team, we're moving over to story points and that's it. And let the chips fall where they may. Now that may get me fired, but I'm okay with getting fired. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Just change the team and let the chips fall where they may. So if you're not willing to change the team, then you need to go ask for permission. If you got to go ask for permission from the product owner, they don't want to give it to you, then you got to escalate. If you escalate and they don't change nothing, then they don't really care. And it's probably not going to change. So just an FYI. Not trying to be bleak, but just an FYI. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was helpful. I know I'd be a little extreme with that stuff, but hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good thing, man. So that being said, today we learned a lot. Today we learned a lot. CSM question mark, I don't understand. I really don't. So I'm gonna say, you all, thank you. Poco Loco. Yes, this is great. So thank you. Remember to press the likes, please. Remember to like and subscribe. Subscription is a plus. Other than that, I'm going to say to you all, this has been an amazing show. We got some stuff to do now, so we just going to rock and start doing that stuff, and we just going to make things happen like we're supposed to happen. I'm going to say to you, I am so happy about this opportunity here. Let's see. There you go. Thanks, Patrick, for supporting that. The PO is micromanaging. They should not be micromanaging the team. They should not be. Lizzie saying, be a good scrum master. Keep your job. Oh, oh, you can't be great if you ain't got no job. Lizzie, I don't like you no more. How about that? No, but Ken Schwaber said to me, a dead scrum master is no good to anybody, but I don't listen to Ken. I don't listen to Ken. So forget it. You know, take a risk. All they could do is fire you. Anyway, y'all, let's say goodnight, okay? This has been a pleasure. I've had a wonderful and great time like I normally have. Hopefully, you enjoyed yourself tonight. What should I talk about next week, y'all? What do you think? We've talked about affinity estimation. We've talked about planning poker. What else would you all like to hear about? What else would you all like to talk about? You all tell me. What is something that would pique your interest. If you have something that you'd like to talk about in the next few weeks, drop it in the chat for me. I think this is going to wrap up our estimation series. I could talk about t-shirt sizing. I think that's relatively easy for people to understand. But yeah, we're wrapping up the estimation series. We've talked about estimation for, I think, 3 weeks now. So what's the next things that you would like to talk about? Is anything on your chest that you would like to learn about? Let's talk about it. And if you drop it in the chat, we'll probably make it a topic in the next few weeks, maybe. So drop me a couple ideas in the chat before you drop off. But I'm going to say to you, I really appreciate you all. I really, really do. This show, the excitement associated with the show, would not be the same without you. Without you, period. I don't take it lightly. I love that you all are here, and yeah, I appreciate you always showing up, Patrick, because you've always showed up for me from day dot. So I do appreciate you. So yeah, so on that note, I'm gonna say, hey everybody, have an amazing week. It's been a plus for me. Hopefully, this is a plus for you. I'm going to say peace, good night, have a great week. I'll see you soon.